News making headlines across America. The death toll climbs higher in an explosion at a Dearborn, Michigan Ford plant. A sixth Ford Motor Company employee has died from injuries caused by the accident at Ford's Rouge complex. State inspector says a natural gas buildup in one of the power plant's furnaces caused the explosion. One Ford worker died immediately. 4 others have died from burns in the weeks following the February 1st blast. 9 other workers still remain hospitalized. A year ago, a string of tornadoes ripped across central Florida. Many of the people who lost something to the violent weather gathered this weekend to remember. This is the way many of the streets around the Orlando area looked last year at this time. A string of 7 twisters cut a 50-mile swath from Kissimmee to Winter Garden. 42 people were killed in all, and those who survived say they all still feel lucky. Even a year later, their lives are far from back to normal.
There was 9 of us in the house, and everybody was okay, but the tornado took the roof off completely to the bare wood, and it was raining in the house as hard as it was outside the house, and it just totally soaked the walls and just ruined all the furniture we had in the house.
Relief agencies say many people in the area are still waiting for their homes to be rebuilt. In Hillsborough County, Florida, innocent motorists are showered by gunfire. Bullets struck several cars, hitting one of the passengers in the head. Authorities have 3 teenage suspects in custody. Stan Jason explains.
A frightening trip to church for tourist Perry McClellan and his wife.
Just south of Ruspin, we heard a loud bang and thought maybe we had hit something in the road. And as I crossed the bridge at the Little Manatee River, we pulled over and stopped and got out and saw there was a bullet hole in the side of the truck.
The McClellans then realized just how lucky they were.
As you can see, if that bullet hole had been a little bit higher, it would have hit my wife right in the side because she was sitting on the passenger side.
That's just what happened to 60-year-old Irene DeRoca. She was taken to nearby South Bay Hospital after being shot in the forehead. She was a passenger in a car driven by her husband. DeRoca was airlifted to Tampa General, where she's in serious condition. Another victim talked with passerby James Keister.
One guy told me at the store that they shot at his truck and almost hit his kid, and he was going fishing, and he got tired of waiting for the police to show up or whatever, so he left. But he had, his back window was shot out, and he had other gunshots in the side of his truck.
Deputies close US 41 and search for a sniper.
They're telling us they were target practicing.
After searching along the Little Manatee River, deputies find 3 15-year-old boys with guns.
There was a rifle and a 9mm.
If you've ever wondered where kids get guns to commit crimes, the answer might be at licensed gun shops. According to a government report in today's New York Times, nearly half of all guns used by young criminals were bought by adults at legitimate gun shops. Only about a third of the guns used by kids are actually stolen. The report could help cities that are suing gun makers by alleging that manufacturers make it easy for criminals to get hold of their products. About 250 religious leaders and activists are fasting for San Francisco's homeless population. Priests, monks, rabbis, and other supporters won't eat for 21 days to draw attention to the problem. Organizers say they want a local abandoned army base to be used to house the homeless. They want city officials to stop arresting and kicking the homeless out of parks where they often sleep. They say hundreds of homeless already have died on the streets. How did you score on your college entrance SAT tests? I'll tell you about one student who probably did a little better. I'll show you what happened to this monument dedicated to a princess.
Chow Yun Fat. And he refuses to die.
You two make a cute couple.
The world's newest action hero. And he stars with Mira Sorvino in
I want to know what the hell is going on.
The Replacement Killers.
Catch the action in the USSB Movie Zone on HBO.
You say you're my friend. My wife says she loves me. Is that the truth?
Mistakes have been made.
And maybe people like you shouldn't get close to people like me.
Egos have been shattered.
How could you?
How far would you go to right your wrongs. Oscar winners Paul Newman, Susan Sarandon, and Gene Hackman star in Twilight, directed by Robert Benton, coming in March, only on Showtime.
Watch the premiere March 13th on Showtime Channel 920.
Efforts continue in the Kosovo peace talks in France. Now the U.S. says NATO will not bomb Serbia if they and the ethnic Albanians are equally to blame for the talks' collapse. Serbia continues to refuse to allow an international peace force on its soil. Ethnic Albanians are rejecting any autonomy agreement that does not guarantee them eventual independence. With tensions once again rising in the Kosovo region, German NATO troops launched some high-tech equipment, a remote-controlled surveillance rocket. It's equipped with 2 cameras to record positions of Serbian troops in Kosovo. It flew over Serbia for about a half an hour before landing back in Macedonia with its recorded material. There has been another Allied raid in Iraq. The U.S. says American and British warplanes attacked an Iraqi missile base and 2 military communication sites on Sunday. This comes after Iraqi jets violated the southern no-fly zone. There's no immediate word on damage or casualties from the strikes about 170 miles southeast of Baghdad. The U.S. Central Command says all of the planes have returned safely to base. The statement says the strikes were launched after 2 Iraqi jets violated the zone in southern Iraq. There's no immediate comment from Iraqi officials on the attack. In France, an unofficial shrine dedicated to Diana, Princess of Wales, has been hit by vandals. The shrine is called the Flame of Liberty. What happened to it has shocked Diana's supporters. Nicole Clements reports.
Just a few blocks from the Eiffel Tower, the Flame of Liberty has become one of Paris's most popular tourist attractions. But the makeshift shrine for Diana, Princess of Wales, has been defaced by vandals who poured red and yellow paint over the monument. Soon after the fatal crash in 1997, the Flame of Liberty became a gathering place for fans of the princess. The base, column and gilt flame over time have become covered with notes, photos and graffiti in honour of the princess. The monument is a replica of the flame on the Statue of Liberty in New York and was originally a gift to France from an American newspaper. Thousands of mourners have visited the site situated near the Eiffel Tower and above the tunnel where the fatal crash occurred. City officials say it will take time and money to restore the monument. So far, there are no leads on who may have been responsible for the attack.
Along with Diana and her friend Dodi Fayed, Henri Paul, the driver of the car, was also killed. In hometown headlines, a story of perfection. Many students planning to attend college take the Scholastic Aptitude Test. Very few achieve a perfect score when they do, 1,600. Hometown reporter Walt McClure caught up with a Missouri student who did exactly that.
I mean, I kind of knew what was on the test, but I was still nervous. I wanted to do as well as I could.
17-year-old David Shalane looks just like any other high school student, but he's not. In fact, by some measures, he's the perfect high school student.
I was really surprised, and I didn't scream, but I just started kind of shaking for a few seconds, and then I was like, wow, and I didn't really know what to do.
David found out earlier this week that he pulled down a perfect 1,600 on the SAT he took in January. Just to give you an idea how amazing that is, only 673 of the almost 1.2 million kids who took the test in 1998 aced it. That puts David in the top 0.05%.
Man, I knew he was smart, but not that smart. 600 out of, a million or whatever it is, that's outrageous.
David's perfect score sort of puts a little heat on a family rivalry. His older brother scored 800 on both tests before, but never at the same time.
I think I took one practice test. The night before, I just kind of said, forget about it, and I went to a friend's house and shot some pool. And then the next morning, I woke up and took the test.
David took the test twice before and decided to take it again, even though he'd already gotten into Stanford University, where he plans to major in engineering or economics.
He seems to really enjoy learning. He'll go above and beyond in terms of finding other activities to be involved in. So not only is he academically very talented, but he's involved in other things.
Did you ever expect anything like this?
No, not at all. I thought I'd do well, but I didn't think I'd do that well.
Kind of a modest response from somebody who's done something few of us could ever do. In Carl Junction, Missouri, I'm Walt McClure reporting.
Ahead on All News Channel, a peek at the most popular movies from this past weekend. Plus, a look at the weather. Stay with us.
When investing, you know with banks you rarely make more than 7% on your money per year. You know that so-called securities like stocks and mutual funds are far from being secure. But did you know that the daily cash value traded in the foreign currencies exchange markets is 60 times more than what is traded on the New York Stock Exchange? And did you know that the current world economic climate has created historical movements in foreign currencies, which has created enormous profits? And though past performance is not a guarantee of future results, don't you think you should know how you too can speculate to make the type of returns that most people only dream about? Call to discover how $5,000 risk capital can control over $100,000 in the global interbank market. There is no cost or obligation, so call those who know. Call Global Equity Limited for a free currency trading kit to know how you too can make money by trading money in the foreign currencies exchange markets. Go with those who know. Call now. When investing, you know with banks you rarely make more than 7% on your money per year. You know that so-called securities like stocks and mutual funds are far from being secure. But did you know that the daily cash value traded in the foreign currencies exchange markets is 60 times more than what is traded on the New York Stock Exchange? And did you know that the current world economic climate has created historical movements in foreign currencies, which has created enormous profits? And though past performance is not a guarantee of future results, don't you think you should know how you too can speculate to make the type of returns that most people only dream about? Call to discover how $5,000 risk capital can control over $100,000 in the global interbank market. There is no cost or obligation, so call those who know. Call Global Equity Limited for a free currency trading kit to know how you too can make money by trading money in the foreign currencies exchange markets. Go with those who know. Call now.
Now, weather from America's hometowns.
Hi, I'm Joe Bender. Here's a look at your national forecast. We have yet another storm system moving into the Pacific Northwest. Rain again for the West Coast locations all the way from Washington State down through Central California. That system then is going to begin tracking across the country, bringing more rain to the midsection of the country. High pressures in control of the desert Southwest. We're going to have dry conditions at least for the next 2 days. And then some snowy conditions are moving through the southern Midwest. We're going to have a storm around the Nebraska area down through Kansas. And then possibly some thunderstorms as we move into southern and eastern Kansas. It's going to be very cold, though, as we move through the New England area. In fact, temperatures are only going to reach the teens as we move through western New York and northern New York into Vermont and New Hampshire. The teens are only going to last for a day, though, warming into the 20s as we move into tomorrow. Now, that's a look at your national forecast. Now, here's a look at some hometowns near you.
At the box office, are moviegoers getting the message or looking for payback? Well, the answer is actually both, according to the box office this weekend. Message in a Bottle, starring Kevin Costner, tied with the action flick Payback. After 2 weeks, My Favorite Martian continues to hold steady. It brought in $6.7 million this weekend. And Blast from the Past and October Sky round out the top 5. It seems car buyers and car thieves have very similar tastes. Bob Urich has that and more in our Consumer Corner.
Toyota and Honda owners beware. 21 of the most 25 stolen vehicles in 1998 were made by the two Japanese automakers. Leading the way for the second straight year is the 1989 Toyota Camry, followed by its 1988 and 90 versions. The most stolen Honda was the 1994 Accord EX. The Camry and Accord have been the top-selling cars in the U.S. for the past 2 years. The cost of filling your car's gas tank is lower than ever, but it probably won't last too much longer. Gas prices are at their lowest in history after being adjusted for inflation, with an average of 99.8 cents per gallon. but an increased spring demand for gasoline and expensive seasonal anti-smog blending processes should put an end to the drop. Gasoline prices have been dropping steadily for the last year and a half because of an oversupply of crude and refined oil products. Good news for job hunters. The job market should remain strong for the next few months. In a new survey of 16,000 U.S. businesses, about 30% of the companies said they plan to add workers from April through June. Only 6% of the businesses surveyed by Manpower Incorporated said they would be cutting jobs. The results suggest that low unemployment should continue. January's jobless rate was the lowest in almost 30 years at just over 4%. Doing your taxes could take a little longer this year. The IRS estimates it will take a taxpayer who itemizes and has some investment income about 22 hours to fill out all the papers. Blame the extra time on lengthy forms. This year, the IRS had to develop 11 new forms and revised 177 others. In the Consumer Corner, I'm Bob Urich, All News Channel.
Not only is Microsoft founder Bill Gates one of the richest people in the world, he is also among the most giving. The philanthropic foundation created by Gates is now the 6th largest in the nation. According to the Chronicle of Philanthropy, the William H. Gates Foundation is now worth about $5.2 billion. The foundation provides grants for health, population, and education projects worldwide. And that is Consumer News. Sports is next. We'll take you to the world of college basketball and tell you who clinched the title in one of the country's toughest conferences. Stay with us.
See, that's the turnover. Throw things back. They'd have found the short. Tough shot. Tough shot. But he has the tendency to do that. He certainly 7/10 of a second ago, and that was it.
Now it's time to pause a couple of minutes and check out the latest employment opportunities around the Twin City area. This is a free job service from your friends at the Minnesota Department of Economic Security. If you would like further information, here's that number to call between 8 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon, Monday through Friday. Check out one of the following full-time job opportunities. Good service, cost you nothing, and they work for you. So keep the number handy, keep checking. Here we go. Field service person wanted in the metro area. They're paying $10 an hour. A program associate, Maplewood, $8.50 an hour the pay there. Here's a job for a materials manager in Roseville. $50,000 a year is the pay. 2 positions for administrative assistants. Long Lake at $8 an hour. Egan paying $8.50 an hour. Operations manager wanted Minneapolis, $30,000 a year. Legal secretary, Minneapolis, $13 an hour. Clerk typist in St. Paul, $12.15 an hour. Office administrator wanted St. Paul, $10.57 an hour is the pay. Here's a job for a warehouse clerk in St. Paul, $10.91 an hour. Group billing clerk, Bloomington, $11.10 an hour. Billing coordinator, Roseville, $19,080 a year the pay there. Inside-outside salesperson wanted out of St. Paul, they're paying $20,000 a year. Purchasing clerk in Roseville, $19,800 a year. Customer service coordinator, Oakdale, they're paying $10.53 an hour. Here's a job for a rental agent in Roseville, $10 an hour is the pay. Maintenance supervisor, metro area, $400 a week. Route driver wanted, Rogers, Minnesota, they're paying $16 an hour. Here's a job for a dispatcher in Oakdale, $10.75 an hour. Cleaning associate wanted, Minneapolis, they're paying $9 an hour. Here's a job for a grounds crew member in the metro area, $8 an hour is the pay. Technician wanted, St. Paul, $10 an hour. Give them a call, check it out. Good luck.
Somebody on Sunday clinched the Big Ten championship. They're here to tell us who it was.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michigan State didn't want to happen what happened to them last year,
Right.
and they fixed the problem on Sunday. Last year, the Michigan State Spartans were the Big Ten's co-best team as they were forced to share the conference title with Illinois after losing to Purdue on the final day of the season. Sunday, the Spartans with a chance to eliminate the co-possibility, hosting second place Wisconsin. Mateen Cleaves on the run. He only had 9 points, but Michigan State still had the lead. Later on, Morris Peterson fights in traffic, bucket and a foul. He had 13. Spartans win at 56-51. They clinch the Big Ten title outright. In the ACC, number 5 Maryland at Georgia Tech. Steve Francis Wapo for 2 of his 22 points. Later on, Laurent Prophet, he had 17, 3 of them right here. That made it 46-30. Maryland coasts final, 91-60. NBA now, where Pacers coach Larry Bird had a special guest in the crowd Sunday. Laker VP Magic Johnson on hand. The Magic Man in town to shoot a TV special with Larry Legend on the 20th anniversary of their historic NCAA championship meeting from 1979. It also gave Magic a chance to escape the Dennis Rodman circus for a day. As for Bird's Pacers Sunday, they couldn't shake the pesky New Jersey Nets. Time running down, Nets down 1. Keith Van Horn with the runner. Nets by 1, 79-78, 10 seconds to go. But that's too much time for the Pacers. Mark Jackson doesn't have a bucket the entire day. He has a bucket. It's the game winner. Pacers win final 80-79. As for the Lakers, they were in Seattle trying to avoid another Sunday national TV loss. Shaq, all he could do was watch. Olden Polynice in your mug. 15 points, 17 boards for Olden. Second half, Sonics on the run. Gary Payton with the finish. He had 26. Seattle wins 92-89. The Lakers fall to 6-4. The best record in the East now belongs to Orlando. Nick Anderson, pretty drive and the foul. He finished with 19 points. Oh, by the way, Scottie Pippen in the gym. 19 for him. No matter, Magic win. Final 109-83. They're 8-2. That's the best record in the East. Here's all of Sunday's basketball scores. Stay with us. More sports ahead, including hockey, highlights, and scores. Back in a minute.
Babe Ruth, Roger Maris, now Mark McGwire. 1998 will go down in history as the year he chased the ultimate dream and won. Now, capture this historic moment forever with the only officially licensed gold collectible card that has been approved by Mark McGwire. Each 22-karat gold card is individually numbered and includes this certificate of authenticity. Only a very limited number will be minted before the molds are destroyed forever. This exclusive limited time offer that could easily increase in value is yours for only $29.95 on a first-come, first-served basis with the lowest numbers shipping first. So don't wait. Order now and get this beautiful display stand and collector's case absolutely free. Don't miss this once-in-a-lifetime offer. Satisfaction is guaranteed, so order yours now. To order, call 1-800-581-8704. That's 1-800-581-8704. Or send $29.95 plus $4.95 shipping and handling to the address on your screen.
Forget about last week's little temper tantrum when some fan took his picture. Tiger Woods is playing as well as anyone right now, and his timing couldn't be better. This week he'll be going for the $1 million prize at the inaugural 64-man World Match Play Tournament. On Sunday, Tiger entered the day just 2 shots off the lead at the Nissan, but this is the guy to beat on Sunday, Ernie Els. Tough time on 18, opens the door for Tiger. Chance to tie? Don't think so. It's going into the crowd. Ernie Els is your winner on Sunday. Els shoots a 68 finish at 14 under par. Tiger along with Ted Treva both finished 2 strokes back. Well, it's now been 10.5 years since that fateful day that Edmonton Oilers owner Peter Pocklington said that he had no choice but to trade Wayne Gretzky to the LA Kings. Sunday night, the great one, now with the Rangers of course, possibly paying his final visit as a player to Edmonton. Third period, Rangers were down 1-0. Mark Savard, pretty move, shoots and scores. That's the equalizer. We're tied at 1. We head into overtime. In OT. Eric Lacroix shot the goal for the game winner. Rangers win 2-1. Here's all the scores. And finally, 1 week removed from his second Daytona 500 title, Jeff Gordon looking for a record-tying 4th consecutive win, this time at the Duraloo Big Kmart 400 in Rockingham. No such luck this week. Mark Martin picks up his 30th Winston Cup victory, outdueling Dale Jarrett for the win. Oh, by the way, Gordon did not finish engine failure on the 311th lap. But still not bad, 27 years old. He's doing okay.
I'd take that payday.
Yes.
Okay, thanks, Wally, for that report. Well, film critic Roger Ebert says he can't imagine what it will be like to do the thumbs up, thumbs down TV show without Gene Siskel. Siskel died Saturday from complications of a brain tumor. The two worked together for nearly a quarter of a century, although they began as bitter rivals. Ebert says the show will continue for now with guest hosts. After months of waiting for the go-ahead from Kenneth Starr, Barbara Walters has taped her interview with Monica Lewinsky. The taping took place during the weekend at a tightly guarded TV studio in New York City. Walters and ABC News President David Weston have scheduled a news conference for Monday to talk about the interview. The interview is expected to air over 90 minutes in prime time on March the 3rd on ABC. It's the final day of a TV sweeps period. However, the network might decide to broadcast the interview a little sooner as well. Lewinsky interview is considered the biggest TV news coup of the presidential scandal. That's going to do it for us. Thanks for watching All News Channel. I'm David G.